Let's start with the latest update on the Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan situation, one that's taking a turn both inside and outside the ring. On screen, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan are fierce rivals, constantly clashing in intense segments, but real life doesn't follow the same script. When Liv Morgan went down with a legitimate injury during Monday Night Raw, Rhea broke character to deliver an important message to fans on social media. She called out the disgusting behavior of those who celebrate a performer's injury, reminding everyone that behind every character is a human being deserving of empathy and respect. Rhea's words were powerful and necessary. Wrestling might be scripted entertainment, but injuries are very real, and mocking them reveals a disturbing lack of compassion. It's perfectly fine to dislike a character's actions on TV, but that line should never be crossed into celebrating their real-life misfortunes. Ripley's statement served as a rare and appreciated public service message, reminding the fandom to be better. As for Liv Morgan's condition, the early word is that she'll be out of action for approximately 3 months. That would sideline her until early fall, forcing WWE to hit pause or significantly alter several major storylines. Her tag team title reign with Raquel Rodriguez? Gone. Her slowly escalating involvement in the Judgment Day storyline? Also paused. And her much-hyped tension with Nikki Bella? Likely scrapped altogether. One of the biggest question marks now is what WWE does with the Judgment Day angle. The story was clearly building toward a major implosion, with Finn Balor's mysterious alliance with Roxanne Perez becoming more suspicious by the week. Liv's injury throws a wrench into that plan, and it's unclear how or if they'll continue in the same direction. But there's still some hope Liv could remain on TV in a non-wrestling role. WWE might pivot to have Liv manage Roxanne Perez during her recovery. That would allow the story to keep moving while Liv stays involved. One idea could be Liv giving Roxanne her blessing to defend the tag titles alongside Raquel. Liv could stand ringside, coaching and guiding Roxanne throughout their matches. This scenario opens the door to 2 possibilities. Roxanne and Raquel could find unexpected success and hold onto the titles until Liv returns, showcasing a new dynamic within the group. Or, on the flip side, Roxanne could end up costing them the belts. That failure could drive a wedge between her and both Liv and Raquel, planting seeds for tension down the line and extending the story even while Liv remains out of action. Of course, if WWE decides to take Liv completely off TV to focus on recovery, the situation becomes much more complicated. Entire threads of the narrative would have to be rewritten or abandoned altogether. That could hurt momentum, especially with how integral Liv had become to multiple arcs across the women's division. At this point, all we can do is wait and see how WWE adapts. Hopefully, Liv's recovery goes smoothly and creative finds a way to keep her present in some form, because she's too valuable a player to lose entirely, even temporarily. It all started when Bayley made her return and immediately addressed the heartbreak of missing WrestleMania 41, blaming it all on Becky Lynch. You could feel the frustration in her words. Being left off the biggest show of the year clearly stung, and she made sure the fans knew exactly who she held responsible. Becky didn't waste any time responding either. She came out to confront Bayley, and the two wasted no time trading verbal shots. Becky, the current women's Intercontinental Champion, took a savage jab by reminding Bayley that she hasn't held gold since SummerSlam 2024. It was a brutal line, but not an inaccurate one. Bayley's been without a championship for nearly a year now, and Becky knew exactly how to twist the knife. Initially, Becky made it clear she wasn't interested in defending the title against Bayley. She was open to giving her a match, just not for the gold. But then came the intervention from SmackDown GM Nick Aldis. He brought up the fact that Becky essentially stole Bayley's title opportunity at WrestleMania, and based on that logic, Aldis felt it was only fair to give Bayley a proper title shot. Just like that, the stakes were raised, Bayley versus Becky for the Intercontinental Championship. But just when fans thought this story was going to stay a straight-up one-on-one rivalry, the wild card re-emerged, Lyra Valkyria. Lyra has been subtly involved in this storyline for weeks, and if you've been paying attention, her reactions speak volumes. When Bayley first returned to Raw and attacked Becky Lynch, the cameras cut to Lyra. Her facial expression said everything. It wasn't joy. It wasn't surprise. It was discomfort. She looked genuinely caught off guard, like someone who felt betrayed. That moment has since sparked speculation. Was Lyra expecting Bayley to come back that night? Did Bayley give her a heads up? Based on everything we've seen, the answer appears to be no. Bayley kept her return plans a secret, even from someone who was supposed to be her tag team partner and close ally. That's a red flag, and it didn't go unnoticed. On the June 16th edition of Raw, things got more personal. Lyra and Bayley shared a tense backstage conversation where Bayley admitted she ignored Lyra's texts and calls. Her excuse? She was in a bad mental space and wasn't talking to anyone. That might be understandable, but it doesn't erase the hurt. Lyra clearly tried to be there for Bayley, and she got nothing in return. Strike one. Then came Bayley's surprise return. Again without a word to Lyra, she showed up, made a scene, and inserted herself back into the spotlight. Strike two. And now, without even working her way back up the ranks, Bayley jumped straight to a title shot for the championship Lyra used to hold. Let's not forget, Lyra was the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion. She made history. She should be first in line for a rematch. But instead, she's sitting on the sidelines while Bayley cuts to the front. Strike three. It's becoming painfully clear that Lyra feels left out and possibly even betrayed. Before WrestleMania, Bayley and Lyra looked like the next big tag team. They were gaining momentum and becoming fan favorites. Then came Becky's attack, which derailed everything. Bayley disappeared. Lyra was left alone. And now Bayley's return hasn't exactly been a warm reunion. Lyra even warned Bayley during their backstage segment, if Bayley wins the title, Lyra will do what's best for her, a clear sign that she's done playing second fiddle. That wasn't just friendly advice, that was a thinly veiled threat. What makes things even more intriguing is how Lyra could potentially flip the script. Could she align herself with Becky Lynch just to get back at Bayley? It wouldn't be the first time someone made an uneasy alliance for revenge. Imagine Lyra helping Becky retain the title, only to demand her own shot immediately after. That kind of move would send shockwaves through the women's division, and it might be exactly what Lyra needs to reassert herself in the storyline. Some fans are already theorizing that this cold tension between Bayley and Lyra is headed toward a major heel turn. Lyra's subtle attitude shift, her cutting comments, and her obvious frustration all point toward a character transformation. If WWE plays their cards right, this could become one of the most compelling slow-burn rivalries in the women's division right now. And let's not forget, Lyra is still owed a rematch. If Bayley does defeat Becky for the title, we could be looking at Lyra versus Bayley very soon, with layers of personal betrayal and emotional drama woven throughout. So yes, the spotlight may currently be on Bayley and Becky, but make no mistake, Lyra is lurking in the shadows, and her story is far from over. What are your thoughts on the storyline? Is a heel turn coming for Lyra? Could we see a shock alliance form between her and Becky? Drop your predictions in the comments below, hit that like button, and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss the next update. Thanks for watching. The Undertaker might be making a return to WWE, but not in the way fans would expect. According to wrestling veteran Konnan, the dead man has reportedly set his sights on a creative role behind the scenes. In fact, Konnan claims that The Undertaker may already be contributing to WWE's creative direction, having been backstage at events like NXT Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. He suggests The Undertaker was involved with the creative process for those shows, possibly signaling a deeper involvement moving forward. It appears The Undertaker isn't just testing the waters, he may be actively working toward becoming a permanent fixture within WWE's creative team. While some fans were surprised by this news, many believe it's a natural next step. After all, The Undertaker isn't just one of the most legendary performers in WWE history, he's also long been respected for his deep understanding of the business. His recent work on the WWE LFG show, where young talent praised his insight and guidance, only further proves how valuable his input can be. Fans are now eager to see how this backstage evolution plays out. If The Undertaker officially joins the creative team, it could bring a whole new layer of experience, storytelling, and authenticity to WWE programming.